Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? I apologize for my tardiness. Um, I did get called in today for a case, so I do apologize, but work comes first. But I'm not trying to play with y'all's time or anything. Finally sent out the text, so it should be good. All right, let me cut the music real quick. You're here for it. I'm here for it. And I'm glad that you guys are here for it and supporting me. You know, Contrary to what some believe, we do tend to have a good crowd over here for True Crime Tuesday. I think last week we had about 350 people over here. So I know everybody likes to say, oh, she doesn't have numbers on anything else. She doesn't have people that watch her on anything else. They only maybe. Well, we may not have as many tonight. But like I said, usually it's around between like 250 to 350 usually on the good ones. And people watch the replay, so I appreciate you even if you're not here on the live. Just being on the replay helps me out, and I love to share these stories with you guys, although most of them are very tragic. Um, I'm just a true crime junkie. So, if you're over on Facebook, I am gonna turn I may leave Facebook on tonight because um I know some people like to watch on Facebook, so I may leave Facebook on and see how that works, because this one is, my video, so actually, Facebook, if you're on Facebook and you prefer to be on Facebook, that is perfectly fine. I can still see your comments over here, so we're good. I'm actually gonna leave you guys on tonight. You you brought your umbrella to the bus stop, but it was windy. Hey, Barb. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes here to let everybody kind of trickle in. And if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you were here. Sorry that we missed you. Actually, let me do one thing real quick. Before we do that, I want to change the text alert thing. For the true crime part. Thank you all for coming by and enjoying, supporting me again for the true crime stuff. Even if you're not a true crime person, I know a lot of my ladies are like, hey, I'm not really into true crimes, but I watch it just for you. And I'm like, thank you so much. I do appreciate it a lot. So let me change this real quick. Hang on. You're expecting a blizzard? All right. So let me change this real quick. This caption here. That way the true crime people can sign up for true crime text alerts. If you're signed up for the Malarkey text alerts, you do not have to sign up for this because I do send it out to everybody. But if anybody's not signed up for text alerts and they only want to get the true crime stuff, I'm going to change it. That way you guys will be able to do it. There we go. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we changed it. Okay, good. There we go. Make sure, I put a space. There's no space. Hold on. So if you aren't already signed up for my text alerts and you want to sign up just for the true crime portion of it, and I also, if I do news stories or anything that's breaking news or in the media, anything besides the malarkey stuff, I will send a text to this group along with, the other people. But if you're not into the malarkey stuff and you don't come here for that, you can always text at True Crimes with a Z to 81010, and you'll be able to get the text alerts when I do any type of stories or true crime, anything like that. You'll get those texts specifically. Hey, Devin. Hey, Blicky. But I do appreciate you guys coming over and supporting. If you'll hit that thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. Let's get into it. And I knew since I was going to be a little bit late, this is one of the shorter, ones one of the shorter videos I've done. Usually my videos are about 40 minutes. This one is about 20 minutes, but I feel like it's going to open up a lot of conversation. So let's get right into it without further ado. Is that how you say that? Without further, yeah, I think that's how you say that. Also, if you do like the malarkey, you can always come back. Um, Hopefully you'll be here to support the true crime. And then if you're wanting to see the malarkey, of course, I will be back after this true crime. I usually take a little intermission, about 30 minutes, and then I'll be back to do the malarkey. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, let me share this here. Hey, hey. Yes, that's correct. Okay, it just sounded weird after I said it. You know how sometimes you say words or you say them so many times or you just say them and then after it comes out loud, you're like, "Wait, is that?" You're like, "Wait, that doesn't sound right." Hey, Tina Bina. I hope everybody had a blessed day. Beautiful day. Hey, hey. All right. Let's get into it. Let me do this. Let me make sure it's not small over, of course. Every I don't know what's up with the true crime, it makes it really small. So here we go. I will be on mute during this, and then we'll talk afterwards. Also, if you know the story, yes, I love that, Marie. That's what I'm talking about. Same with spelling words. Yes. Okay, so if you know the story, you're familiar with the story, please no spoilers. Don't say what happened. Don't say none of that stuff. Okay. I wish I had your energy after working in true crime. I would be in bed. Yes, Elizabeth. I gotta give y'all what you want. And not only that, but I like to talk to y'all about it because I don't talk about the malarkey with in my real life. We don't talk about that stuff. So I talk to y'all. Miss Ninja, are you okay? Hold on, let me check on Miss Ninja before we see this. What happened to Miss Ninja? So glad you're on. My life has been turned upside down in one day. I am so sorry for that. But just like it was turned upside down so quick, it can turn around. And tomorrow is a new day. We all stumble, we all fall, things happen, but it's how you respond. And I know, Miss Ninja, I can already tell just from your comments and the way you carry yourself on the internet that you are a strong woman. And although it feels like things are at the bottom now. Again, tomorrow is a new day, and I know that you will respond with grace, like I see you in these comments. So, prayers to you, good thoughts, good vibes, whatever you guys believe in. Please send them to Miss Ninja's Tammy's way. And we love you, girl. And I'm glad that you are here with us. And even if it's just a little bit of time, maybe it can, you know, distract you a little bit. But we love you here. All right, here we go. Again, no spoilers, please. Let me put this on here. I think I have it in the captions actually. Where's it at? There it is. All right. Welcome to True Crime Tuesday with your host, me, Feminine and Fierce. Tonight, we're going to dive into the twisted trend called death streaming, where viewers pay to watch torture, humiliation, and death live on YouTube. This particular true crime story is about Valentina Gregoria, which died in a tragic and horrifying set of circumstances. She had been in a relationship with YouTuber Stas Reflay, who allegedly forced her on a balcony in her underwear before she died. Valentina was a 28-year-old woman in the early stages of pregnancy. She was in a relationship with Stas Reflay. Valentina blogged and featured on Stas's channel often. She had been subject to abuse before to public knowledge, as Stas once showered her with pepper spray in a video. But in December 2020, Valentina was the subject of an abusive prank gone wrong, as Stas was paid $1,000 by a viewer of his international live stream video to inflict the abuse on her. She was then allegedly forced outside in only her underwear on a balcony in sub-zero weather conditions. After 30 minutes of the live stream audience being able to hear her knocking on the balcony door and pounding, you can see Stoss bring her back in and try to revive her body. But it was too late. Valentina was already gone. During the video, which is in Russian, he says that she looks, quote, half dead. The stream is still going, and you see him say, Valya, are you alive? My bunny, what's up with you? Valya, damn, you look like you are dead. Bunny, come on, tell me something. I'm worrying. Damn, I'm not feeling her heartbeat. Guys, no pulse. She's pale. She is not breathing. Her death has led to fresh calls in Russia for a ban on online reality violence, which at the time of this incident was unrestricted on YouTube. Stoss replay was actually part of a subculture that was a trend in Russia at this time, known as trash streaming. It was a disturbing yet lucrative subculture, and content creators would broadcast their dangerous and sometimes bizarre or chaotic actions live via a webcam or smartphone. And while the participants often assure they are willing volunteers, in some videos they are seen begging their tormentors to stop or help. Groups get together and proceed to simply torture and abuse each other on camera, with the vulnerable often exploited as they urge viewers to fork over cash. YouTubers and other streamers make money by appealing to their fans for donations or tips through third-party money transfer platforms, with some even offering a price list for certain actions to be committed on camera. Disturbing videos taken from Reflay's live streams show his truly warped life, with clips appearing to reveal a horrific pattern of violence, alcohol, destruction, and chaos. In a previous broadcast, he had showered Valentina with pepper spray. Reflay appears to have pleased his YouTube fans by spending most of his time boozing with his girlfriend and pals on camera from his home near Moscow in Russia. His videos also show his campaign of violence and abuse, with even his friends hitting on Valentina on camera. YouTube's ethics were actually called into question after this happened. Valentina had appeared in his videos before, and his YouTube depicted her being repeatedly assaulted by her boyfriend, as Reflay broke plates over her head, pepper sprayed her, and slapped her on camera. Feminist activist Lisa Lazerson has called out YouTube for allowing Reflay's cruelty to be live streamed for so long, pointing out that the platform banned nipples but not violence against women. She was quoted as saying, "This woman dies on air and the audience sends donations to the killer. Such videos are calmly broadcast to the whole world, meaning something is broken. Until this is fixed, censorship is necessary." Even in Reflay's video, while he waited on the ambulance with Valentino's corpse, he even yelled that he loved her in attempts to wake her up. Shortly thereafter, you can see the paramedics appear on the stream and pronounce her dead. The live stream continued streaming for around 2 hours after she died. A YouTube representative has denied that the platform condones content like Reflays and stated they were shocked to learn of this tragic incident. This kind of graphic content is not acceptable on YouTube. Although the original live stream did not take place on YouTube, we quickly removed re-uploads and terminated the associated account. It was said that if it could be proven that she died of hypothermia, that Reflay faced up to 2 years in prison. The Russian Investigative Committee also planned to launch an investigation into the broadcasted abuse before she died. They also said that information will also be checked about possible unlawful actions against the deceased by the young man whose house the body was found, the committee said. However, Reflay was actually sentenced to 6 years in prison after law enforcement authorities later found out that she died from head injuries, with a medical examination finding traumatic brain injury, cerebral hemorrhage, and multiple bruises on her body. Reflay testified that on the day in question, he hit the deceased several times on the head. After Valentino's death, Reflay was quoted as saying, "On my streams, they called her genius. She was an actress who graduated with honors. She truly wanted a real relationship, but I couldn't be with her. You see, she was a prostitute. I didn't want a relationship with a girl like that." The Moscow region's city court database said that the judge found Reflay 30 guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The state-run TASS news agency reported that Reflay will be sent to a maximum security prison colony. It was not immediately clear if Reflay's defense plan was to appeal his sentence. Valentino's live stream death shed light on a disturbing Russian YouTube trend known as trash streaming. Other high-profile cases involved Russian YouTubers burying alive a homeless man and slamming a woman's face against a restaurant table. Her death prompted Russian lawmakers to crack down on trash streaming with threats of jail for up to 6 years. It's obviously obvious that we must react. We'll consider a bill as soon as it is tabled, said the Speaker of Russia's lower house of parliament. But only 5 years later, after Valentino's death, Reflay is back on YouTube. He says that he is in a forced labor that's more like a minimum security facility here and he has talked about some of his experiences since being locked up and traveling to his different camps. He said it all started with his pre-trial detention center. So it looks like he's already, even though he has not served his complete sentence, he's already back on YouTube making videos. This is the last picture taken of Valentino while she was alive. And trigger warning, this is the video from the live stream. It is not the entire video, but rather clips taken from that particular live stream. Check it out. Also, I want to say that there are, let me clear all this stuff off. There are captions at the bottom in English. So you'll be able to hear it, but that was the only way I could do it. I tried to look into getting translating it completely, but wasn't going to pay for that. So you will see at the bottom. Let me see if I can remove. I can't remove the name at the bottom, but you see at the bottom what she is saying. She's asking him about another girl and saying who is this baddie? But yeah, so trigger warning for sure.
Эльвира, топ.
Валь, давай без этого.
Валентина, что?
Валь.
Don't start doing this now. No. Sorry, y'all.
Валь!
Так.
Сука!
Давай, блядь.
Ты знаешь, Валь, что я знаю твое слово. Ушел отсюда. Ушел отсюда.
Давай вот себе.
Ушел
Бери
отсюда.
руки.
Нет, ушел
Бери
отсюда.
руки от мою компанию, блядь, Валя.
10%. Скидка на уютные квартиры
Давай.
на самолет.ру.
Вызывай.
Нет.
Самолет.
Вызывай мне такси. Валь, мы вместе поедем. Нет. Да. Ну, блядь, сука, Стас, ты
He's
знаешь.
asking him to call her a taxi. So she asked him to call a taxi. She asked the other lady.
Валя валяется обоссанная нахуй. В коридоре, ебать. Да, пацаны, я не шучу, это пизда вообще, по факту, реально. Я вам говорю, сегодня делаем контент, как на Валентину, нахуй. Будем ее ебашить, нахуй, крещение, нахуй. По КД, ебать. По пятихатке, похуй вообще. 50 лайков, тащим ее сюда.
50
и
likes.
делаем пушку, нахуй. Ну это пиздец, нахуй. Ну это реально вообще фарш, нахуй, ебаный, нахуй. Реально обосралась там, нахуй, как помойка ебаная. Валентин у меня не обсирался, нахуй, никогда, бля. Ты живая? Ты живая?
He's asking her, are you alive?
Валь,
This is when he brings her in.
Валь. Бля, ребят, мне кажется, она мертвая, нахуй. Я вам отвечаю. Валя, Валя, Валя. Валя. Валь, ты живая? Бля, это надо скорую помощь вызывать. Мне кажется, она мертвая, ребят. Бля, а как мне вызвать скорую помощь? Пиздец, блядь, ребят, блядь. Я вам отвечаю.
This is awful. I mean, he's like, how do I call an ambulance?
Мне кажется, у нее нет даже сердцебиения, Валь.
And then leaves her over there.
Валь, ты живая, заяц мой? Ну ты чего? Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвая, блядь, Валь.
I don't know why it's spinning, y'all. It's driving me nuts. Hold on. Let me rewind a little bit.
Сердцебиение, Валь. Валь, ты живая, заяц мой? Ну ты чего? Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвая, блядь, Валь. Заяц, ну ты чего? Валя. Валь, блядь, ну не смеши, не Валя, блядь. Блядь, Валь, ну скажи ничего-нибудь, ну пожалуйста, я переживаю.
He said, please, I'm worried. Like, he knew, he should have known.
Валюха! Я не могу позвонить. Мне телефон, пиздец. Ну как мне позвонить, блядь?
That his phone was broke.
Валя. Валь. Губы белые. Валя, алло. Она белая. Что за хуйня? Какой устала. Я пошел к соседям. Валя, алло. Ты чё? Да шампанского бухал до этого, только все, не бухал там, поздурил с ней, немного леща пару и въебал ей нахуй. И что, все? Вот. Простите, пожалуйста.
All this on live stream. It's terrible.
У меня Вален телефон, и то он под паролем, блядь. Она пароль не сказала. Я общался с ней вот час назад. Я не впустил ее в комнату, потому что она обосралась в коридоре, блядь.
Now, if you hear what he said right there, he said, I didn't let her back in the house because she shit herself. Now, a lot of people thought that she had passed away from hypothermia because it was, some people said it was 0, some people said it was -5 degrees. And he had stripped her down in her underwear before he locked her out on the balcony. So a lot of people thought that she was, that she froze to death. But clearly, if he had hit her in the head so many times, she may have shit herself because of the brain injury. And then he says that he cannot call because his phone is broke. And then he says that he has her phone, but that she didn't say the password. Now, I don't know how it works as far as in Russia, but I feel like they probably have, iPhone just like we do, and I don't believe you have to have a password in order to call emergency services. I'm pretty sure you can call emergency without a password. But he acts like, I mean, he barely tries CPR. I mean, I just but yeah, they paid him $1,000 to lock her out there.
Почему? Зачем меня впустил? Я вам клянусь. Если человек жив, если он оживет, я буду только с ним до конца своей жизни. Да, алло.
Стас, тебе весь чат пишет: скорая, открой ворота.
Да там открыто все, алло.
Ну выйди, посмотри хотя бы, ну что ты сидишь, приехали, не приехали, выйди, посмотри.
Иду.
Она обосралась?
Да, она. Вот, лежит. Вот, проверьте ее, пожалуйста.
Да что проверять, там уже починила.
Мертвая?
Еще не починила. Мертвая, конечно, холодная.
Что?
Бедолага.
Все мертвое?
Это что, вы с тех пор еще снимаете дом? Столько времени. Мертвая, конечно.
Мертвая?
Документы есть или?
Нету.
Она кто? Сестра?
Моя подруга.
Подруга?
Да. Вы думаете, она мертва?
Не думаю, я знаю.
Уверена?
Еще раз спроси. Давай свои документы. И ее данные давай.
Она мертва?
Она мертва. Еще раз.
Вы уверены?
Уверен.
Точно, 100%. На 100%. Ну как?
Как ее фамилия, имя, отчество?
Да я не знаю даже.
Что ты не знаешь?
Валентина гениальна.
That she's brilliant.
Он назывался Валентин гениальный.
Кто?
Валентин гениальный.
Гениальная?
Да. Вы думаете, мертва?
А?
Мертва. Вы думаете, правда мертва?
Сколько лет ты не помнишь?
Мне было лет 26. То есть я виноват в ее смерти.
Ты где ее взял-то? Сколько бы лет?
Проблема была в том, что вот мы побухали, короче, отдохнули.
Ты ее сколько знаешь-то?
Знаю год.
Год?
Год знаю ее. Мне вот мы...
А где она живет, знаешь?
Она занимается проституцией.
Ну, неизвестно, как ты ее будешь хоронить, что ли?
Буду я.
А у нее есть вещи? Сумка какая-нибудь?
Что-то есть тут.
Ну, наверняка там
Ну,
паспорт.
да.
Что, она без паспорта?
Паспорт есть. Да,
Ну,
есть.
так давай.
Перевести?
Конечно.
Хорошо. Ну вы как вы? Можете оценить? Нет? Мертва? Нет?
Мы уже оценили.
Мертва?
Как мы оценили, да.
Что? Забирайте.
I mean, just the way they act. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because someone did say it's common in Russia, but this whole story is just terrible. I just, and again, they have changed some things. They have changed some things since this has happened. But yeah, hardly any emotion. And then, like I said, that quote after he quoted that was his quote from the media where he said she really wanted a relationship, but she was a 304. How could I be with a girl like that? I mean, just his whole attitude. Yeah, she was smiling. He just yes, Jill. He disgraced her memory. And then now Russia's a little bit different. So he has been since 10 months ago. They did ban his account, right? But now he has a YouTube, and 10 months ago, he started posting again, and he started doing videos. Tina, if you're just here, yeah, if you're just here, this is a Russian streamer who he was in a subculture on YouTube known as trash streaming, where they would get donations to do different things like waterboard a homeless man. One guy attacked a woman at a restaurant and kept like hitting her head off the table. This he was actually paid $1,000 to lock her out on the balcony in sub-zero temperatures, and he stripped her down to her underwear before he put her out there. However, he was going, and here's the craziest part, is he was going to get 2 years. Hey, Spare Time. Yeah, I'm on YouTube and Facebook. He was going to get 2 years had they proved that she died from hypothermia. So he would have only got 2 years if that was the case. However, it was proved that she was actually the cause of death was uh, brain injury from being hit in the head with an object. And then after he did that to her and assaulted her, he was then paid $1,000 to lock her outside in her underwear. And for 30 minutes, which I took it out of the video, but for 30 minutes, she beat on the door and continued to hit the door. And I guess he went out there at one point and looked out the door, and he says that he would not let her back in because she had shit herself. Like, he just says that nonchalantly. And then when he went back to check, I guess the second time, he realized that she was not moving. So he drug her back in and was yelling at her, smacking her, trying to get her to wake up. And you see his poor attempt at life-saving measures such as CPR, which of course she was extremely cold at that point. I would say, because it was, again, some people say that it was 0 degrees that day. Some people say it was -5 degrees. So he would have got 2 years had it been hypothermia, but because they proved that it was a brain injury, he was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and received 6 years in prison. Now, 10 months ago, he started posting on YouTube and explaining his journey, because in Russia, you're in what they call a pre-detention center. And then once you get convicted, you are moved around and you travel on a journey, is what they call it. And you're taken from camp, what he called camp to camp, until you reach your final destination where will be imprisoned. He is now, as of 10 months ago, he's working at he was supposed to go to a maximum security colony, is what they call it. He's now at what we would consider more of like a minimum security, where they each have like houses, but in each house, like each person has their little house or whatever, and then the community is obviously fenced in like a prison, and they call it a forced labor camp basically. But he has a phone. He's dressed in normal clothes, as you saw at the end of that video, and he is up and running a YouTube channel. And he talks about his, time in prison. He even has some interviews of one girl. So I guess it's a co-ed, because he has one girl, they're doing an interview and they're talking about, which I think is insane, that they're talking about BDSM and like dominatrix type stuff and tying people up and all of this. And the woman that he's interviewing is actually in prison herself at what they call a forced labor camp. So again, he got sentenced to 6 years, but 10 months ago, and see, this happened in 2020. So I would say he got sentenced in 2021 for 6 years. And now here it is 5 years after he committed this crime. Well, not even 5 years, because it was December 2020. So December will make 5 years since this happened. And as of 10 months ago, he's already posting on YouTube again. So, and explaining his, what all happened. He does say that he regrets it and that he thinks about it all the time. And It's a little bit hard to watch because his obviously it's in Russian, but on YouTube you can do the captions where it will auto translate for you. So you'll be able to watch, you'd be able to watch it or whatever. And that's what I did. I did the translate thing and just watched some of what he was talking about. He said that he was in the cell with another, because they call them bloggers. He said he was in the cell with another blogger that was in there for extortion or something. I mean, he talks about all this stuff, and I just think it's terrible that I mean, first of all, it's terrible when anyone loses their life, but the fact that the live stream continued for 2 hours after this happened, and he acts like, "Oh, I can't make a call." He doesn't try to go to a neighbor's house. I mean, he's clearly in an apartment, what looks like an apartment, right? There was thousands of people on the live stream, thousands, because he had a huge, right, Jill? That's what I say. He had a huge following. So there were thousands of people on this live stream. Was no one able to call? I know if something happened on my live stream, or there would be people in here, and I don't even have thousands in here, but I bet if something happened, somebody would be calling. Not only that, but he doesn't try to go to a neighbor's house. He doesn't try to go get help or run in the street or do anything. Like, he just gets on live. He just sits there on live and continues to drink and act like he's crying. And I say act like he's crying because you can see him making the noises and rubbing his eyes and shit, but there's not one tear that comes out. And and then the paramedics come, and she's over there sitting smiling, and she like goes over to check on her, and she's like, "Yep, cold, dead." Like, just the way it is. And again, I'm sure in Russia maybe they're desensitized to it. Maybe it happens all of the time. Hey, Renee, but I just could I thought, so in other words, if she would have died of hypothermia in Russia, apparently you can lock someone outside in their underwear after you assaulted them and they pass away, and he would have got 2 years. The only reason he got 6 is because he hit her in the head before he put her out there. But it's like, what? And then involuntary manslaughter, which I get what they're saying, like his intent wasn't for that to happen. But what did you expect when you stripped the girl down if he would not have assaulted her first? My thing is maybe they look at it like that wasn't his intention, but what did you expect? You stripped her down and put her outside in sub-zero temperatures and left her out there for at least 30 minutes, at least. And it may have been longer. But what did you expect? I mean, that's what happens. It is. It's very weird. Yes, it is. He's still on TikTok. I did not know he was on TikTok. The thing is filming the whole thing. He's acting like it's a movie. Yeah. The Russian government assigns families apartments already furnished. Oh, okay. Keeps going back to the computer to see what folks have to say. $1,000 donation. Yes. I guess I don't know who ended up calling Christine. I'm not sure if it was somebody on the live stream I think it was him. He says he can't call because his phone is broken. But you do see him while he's holding her, and he appears to be on the phone. So from some reports, it said that he made the phone call. But on the live stream, it doesn't look that. He says he can't call. But some of the reports, the Moscow Times reported that he made the phone call and then continued the live stream even after calling. Um, hey, Amani. Hey, better late than never. But yes, it is. It's just insane to me. Russian people definitely are desensitized. My great grandpa was extremely hard on all his kids and was a raging alcoholic. We let them walk, sadly. We have some effed up cases here in Canada. We let them walk, sadly. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine. And then for him to, go into the media and say that she was a 304 and, say all these things. And the saddest part is, it was evident that she had been being abused. I mean, it was right on video. I mean, just like I showed you that still shot of the video where he pepper sprayed her while she was on the couch. His friends, they would go live, and like 5 of his friends would just like beat on her, and people would send donations for it. Just like that feminist, she said, what was her name? Lisa Lazerson. She said, what have we like, what is this? To where this man beats on the violence against women. This man beats on this woman, and then they puts her outside, unalives her, and then the audience sends donations to the person who did it. What sense does that make? How does that make any sense? Amani, so you can just look up Russian live streamer streams, or no, look up Russian live streamer um kills girlfriend after locking her outside on the balcony in sub-zero conditions, or whatever, however you want to type it in. But yeah, you can just Google it. It will pop up. It's on Yahoo News. It's on everything. Um, but I just thought this was I've been doing the last couple weeks, and I plan on doing um basically a true crime stories, but the niche is basically all true crime involving like YouTubers, TikTokers, things that have happened on live stream, or people that have live streamed their lives, or whatever the case may be. There are a lot of stories about famous TikTokers and YouTubers who have committed crimes like this, or who have unalived people, and were live streamers or content creators, influencers, whatever the case may be. Um, yeah, send me a message, Amani, on 2.0, so it'll pop up, and I will send it to you. I'll send you an article, and then you can start deep diving from there. Yeah, it's as sick as it gets. It's terrible. Um, so yeah. But just and also on top of that, not just TikTokers and YouTubers, because there's so many stories there, but also people who video their crimes, who do these things, and video parts of it and things. This world makes no sense right now. Yeah, you cannot make it make sense. People both do, and watch this. Yes, it's like a whole subculture of people who, and he was doing this, I believe, on Twitch as well. It was Twitch. It looked like Twitch to me. Most of his videos that other people had or whatever, look like Twitch. Now there may be like a Russian app that looks similar to Twitch, but that's what it looked like to me. Um, hey Francis. So yeah, but there's, like I said, there's so many of these YouTubers, TikTokers, influencers that have committed crimes, or against each other. A lot of couples that commit crimes against each other that we're doing, just like the story last week that we did on true crime with Zara and Dino, which unfortunately are back together. There have been some, she has been doing some stuff on TikTok and stuff, so I may make a video, just some of the stuff that's been happening with that. What about her family? I didn't find Frances, I didn't find very much information at all concerning her family or any of that. And, the justice system in Russia is a little bit different, like as far as like victim statements and stuff like that. I didn't see any of that stuff. So I'm not sure. But now I'm going to look into it now that you ask. And this is not even the dark web. No, this was YouTube. Tammy, this was YouTube. Like, what? And it was a whole subculture. It is, Blue Frog. It is. It's terrible. It's awful. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. And next Tuesday, we will be continuing this series about TikTokers, YouTubers who commit these crimes, and, go a little, true crime, but in that niche. There's so many, I would say good, but I hate to say good stories when it involves true crime, because none of it's good. And, but there are some very disturbing stories that involve YouTubers and TikTokers for sure. It is sad for her. Like I said, not only did she lose her life in such a tragic way, but it was broadcast to thousands of people. And then on top of that, the person who did it, in to save face or whatever the case may be, then defames her after doing such a thing like this. And now he's already out. And well, he's not out. Let me rephrase that. He's already back on YouTube. And that, I think, makes it even worse. I feel like, why I know YouTube banned that associated account, but why they allowed him to get another account. I mean, I guess because they look at it as, well, he's doing his time or whatever, but I just feel like that's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, interesting. Yes, Lita. Yep. So I will, yes, definitely catch the replay. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Yes, thank you so much, and thank you guys for supporting me, even when it's not malarkey. I love you guys for that, and yes, I will be back, Francis. She was such a beautiful girl. Yes, and I will be back for the malarkey. I'm going to take a little break and get something to eat because I have been going nonstop. So I haven't even ate yet. So I am going to get something to eat and I will be back probably around 11 o'clock, our usual time. Yes, very sad. It was Lakita. It is a very disturbing case. And, prayers for all of the people that loved her and knew her and condolences for them. You're welcome, Yessie. And if you guys would please make sure that you hit that thumbs up and like this video, I would greatly appreciate it. If all 200 of you guys could hit that thumbs up, I would love you forever. Yes, Zona, my true rider dies. Support me no matter what. And I love y'all. I see you all. Don't don't think it doesn't don't think it goes unnoticed because it definitely does not. And so I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back, I'll say around 11 o'clock, our usual time. So the buses are going to be running on time, honey. And I will see you at 11 p.m. Eastern. See you soon. And thank you so much for joining this episode of True Crime Tuesday with your host, Feminine and Fierce. That's me. I love you guys and I'll be back, Crystal. I'm coming back at 11, girl. I better see you here. I got to get it from the beginning. Yes, get it from the beginning. And I will post the video. Also, for those that just want to watch the video or whatever the case may be, I'll go ahead and post that, make it public as well. So I love you guys, and I will see you in about 45 minutes. Y'all have a great night. If I don't see you again, hopefully you'll catch that replay, but I'll see you tomorrow if you don't come back for the malarkey. But thank you so much. Love you guys, and I will see you soon for malarkey.